Greetings and salutations, everybody. Excuse me just a minute. I forgot to do something. There we go. Hi, guys. How are we doing? Where's everybody at? I really should do this upstairs. It's awful quiet. It's really quiet down here. Because I can't, my stereo, I don't know if you can see the light back there on the shelf behind me. It doesn't work like the Bluetooth. Like it can't play music and do a live video at the same time. Should have done it upstairs. Where's everybody at? Well, nobody's gonna show up. I might just wait and go upstairs and do this. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Rebecca, hello, you are back. How are you today? Only took 2 minutes to get some people on here. Sheesh. Just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I was just saying, it's, hi, Marlene Lopez is back as well. I got a lot of regulars on these lives. You guys must love hearing me blabber. Off tonight, yay. Awesome. Hey, Beth, how is everybody today? I was just saying, I should have done this. Hi, Allie, how are you? I should have done this upstairs because it's too damn quiet down here. I can't play the music on the Bluetooth and do a video at the same time. So it's like, it's really dead quiet and it sucks. Hello from South Carolina. I didn't catch the name. Janine? Hi, Janine. Alright, guys, who's got questions? It's Saturday. Woo! Saturn's Day. Saturn's Day is good. I'm going to have a lot of work to do tomorrow. Going to learn to talk to my ancestors. Yes. That is, you know, I think that's the first thing that anybody should learn to do. And before they learn any spells, before they learn herbs or any other thing else. Y'all, hi, Asta McGuire is back from New York. Before any of that stuff is learned, ancestors should be number one. They should always be number one. That and like your court. If y'all haven't gotten a court reading, get you a court reading. And a lot of people don't know this. Courts change. They do. Your court can definitely change over time. Some spirits come and they only hang out for a little bit and they leave, and some are with you all the time. Some come, some go. And your court can change. I try and get a court reading whenever I sense that there's been some swapping or shifting, you know. I try and get court readings. It's usually once every couple years. I try and do a court reading. There was something I wanted to fucking talk about tonight, and don't you guys know me? I don't remember what the hell it was. I was thinking about it when I was getting my shower. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about that tonight, and now I can't remember what the hell it was. How often do you think you should get a general reading? Whenever you need it. Whenever you think, hey, so I got a situation that needs read on, or some shit's going on, I want to see what's up, get a reading. Readings aren't that expensive. Well, most readings aren't that expensive. It depends. It depends, but yeah, usually they're not that bad. They're usually pretty affordable. Um, I'm usually stuck getting readings a lot because a lot of you that are workers should probably know this, but readers and workers usually can't read ourselves. I mean, I can to a point, but a lot of times I need someone else to read me, and I read a lot of other workers and readers too because they can't read themselves. It's, you know, a lot of people can't read their own shit, which is kind of a curse to a lot of us. Or I'll get, you know, little bits and pieces, but for, you know, like the big picture, I gotta go to somebody else. In New York, they're expensive. Everything in New York's expensive. I used to live in New York. I lived in the Village for a couple years. Everything in New York is expensive, yeah. But you can always, you know, get some, not in person, you know, someone out of state that doesn't charge as much. Oh, Marlene says, I don't usually have anything crazy going on yet, but I try at least every 6 months from my Bible out. Yeah, my house usually does one. We definitely do. Oh, Long Island. I know a lot of people on Long Island. We did definitely do a yearly reading for the whole house, which everybody gets, and then, you know, even though if you're in with somebody in a house or whatever, you still gotta pay for the readings. The spirits are still working, they're still gotta be paid for, so you still gotta pay. It's not like a free-for-all for free readings just because you got a family, you know. I was advised to keep a journal. I know why. That sage wasn't working and my spells didn't work. Sage, yeah. Didn't I tell you last time to use camphor? Sage, I mean, sage is good for getting rid of negative energies, but not necessarily spirits. You want to get rid of negative spirits, break out the fucking camphor and smoke your house. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just listed spiritual floor washes on the website. And I mean, there's other stuff, you know, everybody can always make their own floor wash, but I can't tell you how many times a day I tell people that they gotta do a floor wash for something, or this or that, or clean their house, or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna offer it, because I'm just sick of telling everybody, clean your house. But if you're having some really bad negative spirits and that kind of stuff, along with the camphor, you would want to do an uncrossing floor wash or a remove negativity floor wash. And to that, you would want to add some either turpentine or cresolina. If it's a spirit in your house that you're trying to get rid of and none of that's working, do some espanta morte. But you got to be really careful with that stuff. You can't get it around your spirit altars, your ancestors, or any, because it literally, it's like an exorcism for spirits. And so if you have beneficial spirits and altars set up in your house, you have to be really careful with the espanta morte. But if you're in a situation where, you know, you got to get rid of this, whatever's in your house, yeah, espanta morte, cresolina, turpentine, all that stuff's good. Oh, Palo Santo. No, Palo Santo is along the same lines as sage. It's good for cleansing the air, so to speak, cleansing the energy, the negative energies, and kind of balancing it out, bringing in the good stuff, but it's not going to get rid of a spirit. It is not going to get rid of work thrown at you. It is not going to get... It's not going to get rid of that caca. You need to pull out the big guns and the strong stuff. Yeah. What the hell did I want to talk? I thought it would be an excellent topic for tonight's video, and god damn it, man. You guys know I can't remember what the hell I wanted to talk about. Shit. I cannot remember what it was. That irritates me so bad. You guys, I am old. It was a really good topic too, man. I was like, damn, everybody's gonna love this shit if I talk about it, and goddamn if I can't remember what the hell it was. That's bugging the shit out of me. That's really bugging the shit out of me. Shit. Okay, let's see. Alright, in a dream last week, I was in a place or time where humans lived openly and happily with spirits, but you had to take the spirit medicine to be able to see them. That, I mean, it might not even have been a different time, because there's still a lot of tribes, you know, in Brazil and Africa and Puerto Rico and them kind of places that still practice spirit medicine and talking and spirit walking and that kind of stuff. It could have been a now time. However, if you couldn't afford the medicine, you could see them by looking through a certain type of crystal or glass. I wasn't allowed to ask questions, only observe. By the way, I was a spirit. That's really cool. You know, I'm wondering if there's a market for, speaking of looking into crystals and glasses to see spirits. I have made in my life several black scrying mirrors, and I'm tossing around the idea of making some for the shop and actually offering them to people. I don't know if there'd really be a market for that though. Like, I'd make them really cool. Like, I'd use antique, you know, really cool frames for them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if there'd be a really market for that. What kind of turpentine? It's not the kind that removes paint, is it? Yeah, that's the only kind of turpentine there is. But you don't need a lot of it. Like, you fill like a mop bucket, you know, with hot water and like a cap full of turpentine. Like, you just need, and same thing with the cressolina. The cressolina is some strong, if you guys don't know what cressolina is, it's tar water, and it's some strong smelling shit. One capful in a big bucket of water is all you need. The turpentine water, you know, mix is really good to wash down your doors with, to remove negative shit from your door, and also to protect it from negative spirits and energy coming through your door. Wash your doors, guys. I can't stress that enough. I know floor washes are called floor washes, but they're not just for floors. You can wash, I wash everything with my floor washes. I wash my cabinets, my refrigerators, my doors, my door jambs, my window frames, my baseboards. Like, I wash everything with the spiritual floor wash, but doors especially, and your window frames. Those are the portals into your house. So you definitely want to keep those cleansed and protected. You'll remember when the video's over. I'm sure. I probably will, and it'll go, God damn it. So bummed. I'm going to the movies right now and have to miss the rest of this live, but I will catch it later. Okay, Aisha. We'll see you in the future. Have fun at the movie. I wish I could go to a movie. Actually, I don't even enjoy the movies anymore. I think I'm too old to enjoy it. They're like, when I go to a movie, it's just really fucking loud. It's like really loud, and just, I just don't enjoy it. I don't. It's kind of nice seeing it on a big screen, but I don't like the volume of the movies. I don't like the deep bass and the big vibrations, and I don't really enjoy movie theaters anymore. I just watch movies at home. Plus, I can eat whatever I want, and it's free. Hey, I will come. It will come when you least expect it. Yeah, you know, a lot of stuff comes to me when I'm... Oh, that's what it was! I remember what it was! It was, about baths and bathing. That's what it was, because I was in the shower when I thought of it. That's what it was. Okay. This is what I wanted to say. So, I know you guys have seen, like, this, not necessarily the spiritual baths. Spiritual baths are very important, and nothing can take the place of a good spiritual bath. But for maintenance and in between your spiritual baths, I got a good trick for you guys. The oils that you buy, like you buy, protection oils, uncrossing oils, love oils, money drawing oils, all these oils that you get, put them, a couple drops, in your body wash and your shampoo and your conditioner, and it's like a quick caca cleanse. It does not by far means take the place of a spiritual bath, but what I'm telling you is I've seen a lot of people selling these specialty body soaps and scrubs and like this kind of stuff, which also doesn't take the place of a spiritual bath. But you can do the same thing. You don't have to buy all these specialty products. All you have to do is add a couple drops of the oils into your cleansing routine and your soap, your body wash bottle, your shampoo bottle. I have like bottles lined up in my shower, and each one has a different oil in it, so I scribble on the label what's this one for. But yeah, and whenever I'm in the shower, and whatever I want, if I want to uncross myself real quick, like I said, it doesn't take the place of an uncrossing bath, but if I feel there's a little caca on me or something, I'll just wash with that bath wash, and it'll get some of that off. It's a good maintenance for in between your spiritual baths, and you can do the same thing with your shampoo and your conditioner. Like I said, now only one oil per bottle, guys. So if you if you want if you want a love one, a money one, a protection one, you got to have 3 different bottles of body wash. Label them so you know what they are. But that is a good maintenance thing for in between, the baths, and you don't have to go buy all these specialty, body scrubs and salt scrubs and body whip and soap and like all this stuff that I'm saying. You don't need that stuff, guys. Just make your own. Put a little bit of oil in your stuff. I remember what it was. It makes me happy. When I saw a few shops, they sold scrying mirrors, and they sell it pretty well, especially when you use antique frame. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what they are, or they don't know how to use them, or it's both. They've either never heard of them, they don't know how to use them. So I'm not. It's kind of something like the lamps. It's kind of going the way of the dinosaurs. So a lot of people aren't aware of these things. So I'm not quite sure if they would sell or not. Maybe I'll do a couple and see how they sell. I have black tourmaline scrying mirrors I was going to sell at a Beltane festival. Yeah, these wouldn't be made out of stone. I make them out of old mirrors, picture frames, stuff like that, and then I empower them, and in between the frame I put oils and herbs, and I put it in between the back and the glass part, and there's herbs in there to assist with the communication. I have something called Harmony oil someone made. Could that be used after the camphor to anoint doors and windows? I mean, it could, but when you're talking doors and windows, I'd want protection on doors and the windows. A Harmony oil, maybe put that in an oil diffuser, or yeah, that's what they're called, an oil diffuser. You have the candle, and it heats the oil up, and it disperses it, through the room, makes it smell good, all that stuff. I might do that with a Harmony oil. Also, candle worked it, but for doors and windows, personally, I want protection and prosperity. That goes on my doors and windows all the time. Protection and prosperity. I tried a new way to wrap my head tonight. I don't know if it's working too good. Hey, us and them. How are you tonight? Do you pray? Alright. You pray in front of your Boveda every day, mornings or evenings. Yes, I do, every day. A Boveda is a little different from ancestors. Now, upstairs, I have an ancestor altar and ancestral space. The Boveda includes the ancestors, but it also includes my spiritual court that's not part of my ancestry. So, because, well, my ancestors are obviously in my court, so they are included on the Boveda. In the mornings, I work upstairs with the ancestors and the spirits I have there, and I do my prayers. And then in the evenings, I come to the cellar where the Boveda is, and that's when we work with these spirits in the evenings. Will do. Your crown of triumph is awesome. Been singing the praise. Oh, good, Beth. I'm so glad it's working for you. Yeah, I love that shit. I'm back now. Cursor to the tip-top shape. To the top. I don't know why it's saying bad connection. Yeah, the crown of triumph. Man, I love that shit. I love that shit. And I always forget how much I love that shit until I use it again. I don't use it very often because I don't want to overuse it, you know, and like take advantage of it. But when I do use it, I'm remembered why I love it so much. The most incredible things happen when I put that oil on, and I'm so glad it's working for other people that the same way it works for me. It's just like unbelievable shit happens when I wear that oil. I think a lot of people probably saw the story I posted on Facebook about getting the car fixed and making it on time and not getting pulled over by the cops when they were right on my ass. And I was wearing the oil that day, and it was like, damn. And then last summer, I went out looking for fencing for the garden. And for some reason, I put my Crown of Triumph oil before I went around town looking for the fencing, and I don't even remember why I put it on, but the most, incredible things happened. I wound up going to, I think it was Lowe's. Yeah, I think it was Lowe's. And we're looking at the fencing, and the whole way in the back corner of the garden section, way, way, way in the back, there was like a pallet of this redwood roll out, like big rolls of fencing. It was like wire and redwood, and I'm like, that's perfect for my garden, but like I know I couldn't afford it, right? So I finally tracked down someone who worked there, and because there was no price, you know, it was just stuffed in the corner in the back, way back of the garden center, and there was no price. So I tracked down somebody, and they had to go find a manager, and we stood around for like freaking half hour, and the manager finally came and was like looking through their scanny thing, you know, that they carry around for prices and stuff, and it wasn't in the system. And it turned out that they got shipped that pallet of fencing by accident, and they weren't supposed to have it. So the manager, now this stuff usually sold for like $65 per roll of this fencing. The manager offered to sell me the entire pallet of fencing, which is way fucking more than I needed, but only if I bought the entire pallet. He sold it to me for $10 a roll, I think. So I wound up getting like 5 rolls of this awesome fencing for like $50 when one roll would have costed like $65. And I was like, fucking score, because we made, like, got tons of plans to do with the extra fencing. Like, we want to redo, you know, some fencing in the yard. I did the whole garden bed with it, and then I did all the smaller garden beds with it, and I still have like 3 rolls left. So, but that was like another, like, damn, like, unbelievable, awesome shit happens with that Crown of Triumph oil. I don't know. I love that shit. It's always stuff like, you don't have an intent, right? I mean, like, today I got my car fixed. Like, I had an intent. Like, I wanted the day to go smooth, and I wanted everything to work out good, so I put the oil on. But, you know, you put it on with no intent, and just unbelievable, incredible fucking shit happens. It's like, wow, Like, really, really amazing stuff. I get so much done. Hello, Denise, the Wandering Artist, has joined us again. Funny as hell, I got timed out for having a potty mouth, but these nice church ladies and the other groups were cussing like sailor. Yeah, the church ladies. You know, it's actually part, and I just found this out. We have rules in my spiritual house, and the rules were just recently shared with me, and one of the rules is you're not supposed to blaspheme. You're not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain. That's like one of the rules, and I'm gonna be breaking that rule like every. I'm trying, but it's. I'm trying really hard, but I know I'm gonna be breaking that rule 50 times a day. I probably already broke it 10 times doing this video. Too much fun. It was a craft group with lots of religious women in there. I'm in some groups like that. It's weird. Like, I'm in a group called Appalachian Folklore, something like Appalachian American Folklore and Tales or something. Like, it's not a group that you think would be religious, but there's a lot of strict religious people in there, and what's funny is they love me, and I don't really let on, you know, what I'm about or what I do, but I post a lot of Appalachian folklore kind of stuff in the group because that's what it's about, and they just love me, and I've actually had a couple discover my page somehow. I guess they were checking me out or something, and a couple of them actually have come to me wanting work or wanting products, and they're, but, you know, PMing, but in the group, you know, in everybody's face, they're like super religious. In fact, it's the admins of that group, the admins, two of them came to me, and they were asking all kinds of questions and wanting all kinds of stuff, and but then they were like, you know, our groups really have a lot of religious people in there, so just be careful. Just be careful what you post in the group. But yeah, on the sly, they come to the workers, or they are workers, one or the other. I do not cuss out anyone else, but they must have thought I was Popcorn Sutton or something. Oh, Lord. So much fun. Anybody have any questions tonight? Anybody? This is we're doing a Q&A here. We love chit-chatting and hearing the stories and stuff, but I love to help people and answer the questions, and that's what I'm here for. Got a reading on my ancestors and guides. They said I have several Congo spirits and said to get a reading from a Polero, but looking online there is so much smack talking. How do you find the right people? Tuka Waka. I don't want to give out names on a live. Like I said last time, I don't want people to know who I'm in with or really friends with or anything. So Tuka Waka, PM me on the Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure Facebook page. The link is below the video, and I will get you to the right person. I actually know some that not only do ancestral investigations, I know some that do entire court readings, and they're also Poleros. So yeah, get with me on that, and I will get you to the right tata for your reading. Yeah. So saying holy crap is out of the question. I don't really think that's blasphemy. Holy crap. Cause I mean, I'm I'm hoping that's not blasphemy, but I don't think that counts. I'm talking about, you know, Jesus Christ and God damn it. And Things I say 500 times a day, which I don't think is ever going to change. I mean, like I said, it's a rule, but I haven't really gotten yelled at for it. Like, my spirits, they haven't chastised me for blaspheming. So, maybe in the future, I should be more prim and proper and, you know, more along the lines of my title and my role than me. Maybe I'll get yelled at for it, but right now, everybody's cool. Well, I was wondering, you mentioned that you should still honor ancestors who were nasty in their life. Is that a ritual of goodbye, or do you keep them as your ancestors if they were abusive to you? I mean, it's up to them, really, if they want to hang out or go. You can always attempt, you know, like on my last live, we talked about how some ancestors can block people and cause issues and stuff like that. I mean, you can ask them to go if they're causing you some issues and blocking your shit. But I mean, if they don't want to go, they're not going to go. And there isn't really anything you can do to get rid of them because, like we said, they're in you. They are you. You are them. They are you. So you can't get rid of that. How you get rid of it? It's in you. You are them. So, I mean, you could ask them to leave, but, you know, when it comes to ancestors, they're unlike any other kind of spirit that we work with. So, if they choose to not leave, if they choose to stay, there is no goodbye ritual that's going to make an ancestor go away because they're in you. They're part of you. You're a part of them. So, that's how that kind of goes. Are those jars behind you full of herbs for workings? Oh, they're not full of herbs. That's actually my collection of dirts and waters back there behind me. Yeah. And they are for working. Yeah. I just got my file cabinet. Look at my file cabinet. Isn't it beautiful? I'm so happy. I have been looking everywhere for like 10 months for a damn file cabinet. Thrift stores, antique store, and I wasn't going to, you know, a freaking office supply store and spending 50, you know, whatever dollars on a file cabinet when I know damn well I see them all the time at garage sales and flea markets and thrift stores. And I see file cabinets everywhere all the time, super cheap. But don't you know, when I'm looking for one, it took me like 10 months to find it. But I got it for $6. Oh. But I think I got it for $6 because it was locked and there was no key. So I actually had to bust the lock. So it doesn't lock anymore, but it doesn't matter if it locks anymore because I don't need it to lock. I just need the cabinet. I have, this is where my clients go. The readings I perform, the works I perform for people, and this and that. Everybody has their own little file in that file cabinet. So I can always go back and look at a reading or a work that was done and how it was done, and, you know, so I don't lose anything on my friends and clients. Everybody's organized now. Yay. I had it in just like a folder like this, and every time I opened it, like, the papers would just fly out. And I'm like, no, I need a file cabinet. Everybody has to have their own little, neat little nice folder. And I'm so organized now, and I love it. I've been looking for a good reader, but I can't find one. PM me, Allie Mullins. I can't wait till I can do readings, guys. I can't. But I gotta get this shit learned. I gotta get, you know, I was, I am doing practice readings on the side for, like, friends, like really close friends, like other workers. And I was doing one the other night. Actually, it wasn't even a practice reading. I was talking to her, like, I had the speakerphone on, and I'm talking to her while I was doing divination, and all of a sudden they wanted to talk about her. And some shit that was going on to her. I wasn't trying to read her or give her a reading, but yeah, they wanted to talk about her. And I seen while I was, because she was on the phone live, you know, and I was trying to do this reading, and I'm flipping through, you know, my files and my folders, and I'm trying to find, and I can see why they don't want me doing live readings yet, because I don't have it memorized. I don't have it really down, and it's a little awkward when you're trying to give a reading for somebody, and you know, you're flipping through files and notebooks and, you know, all this stuff to do the reading. It's not very convenient. It doesn't look, I mean, it doesn't look very professional, so I wouldn't want to offer it as a professional service. If, you know, I got to take 10 minutes to flip through something to do, you know, figure out what something means, and even after when I read what it means, then I got to kind of look at the exact thing of the divination and kind of put it to their situation, and, you know, it's a lot to do readings, guys, and I can kind of understand why they don't want me doing the readings yet. No more bullshit from the wannabe readers. The Congos don't play. They are real. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. What did my godfather say? He said, I think I mentioned this before, but I don't remember if I did or not. He said, we were just, you know, hanging around, talking bullshit and stuff. And he said, you know, like all these workers on social media and stuff that are claiming to work with certain spirits and this and that, he was like, these motherfuckers would shit their pants if the real spirit that they think they're working with actually freaking showed up. And he was not lying. And at the time I thought he was kind of joking, like, I mean, not really joking, but he didn't mean it literally, you know. It's not a joke. They don't play. I am worried when my 80-ish abusive mom dies. What will happen? She's the worst. My husband's actually gone through that with his mom. She's 80. She'll be 88 this year. And she's getting really close, actually. They have gathered around her, and she's getting actually pretty close. And, you know, at first, because my husband's been taking care of he took care of his dad for like 3 or 4 years before he died, and now he's taking care of his mom. And, you know, he was like, because she wants to be cremated, and he was like, I don't even want her damn ashes in the house. He was like, I'm just going to toss her in a garbage bin. But that was a while ago. Now that she's getting closer, and we see that, and we know that he's kind of changed his attitude a little bit towards her. He's like not so disdainful of her, and I think he's actually gonna hang on to her. Maybe, you know, put her with the others. Yeah, PM me, Tugawaka. We'll get you taken care of. Nice file cabinet. Yes, I love it. $6. Hell yeah. Denise asked me about cord cutting. Be right back. Or revoke soul contract if you don't want ancestors to hang around. See, I mean, these theories are great. When it comes to ancestors, you know, banishing them, revoking contracts, but I honestly, I can't see it working. Because they're in you, they're a part of you. How do you get rid of it? How do you get rid of your DNA? How do you get rid of your blood? You can't. Yeah, ancestors are a completely different deal. And this is why, I mean, the bad ones, we try to elevate them. That's what we do. We attempt to elevate the bad ones, the ones that were not so savory in life. We try and elevate them so that in the spirit they might find the higher frequency, the higher path that they were not able to find in life. So hopefully if they ever come back in reincarnation or whatever, they'll come back, you know, a lot better person. How would you handle an opportunist of a friend who only knows you when she needs a reading and then plays self-righteous when you say something she does not agree with? Quit it. Quit it. I had a friend, actually a really, really good friend. We were friends for like, God, 8 years we've been friends, and she came to me with issues. She had some nasty spirits in her house. The one particular, she showed up at my door one night, banging on the door and freaking out, and she came in, and this is my friend now, and as soon as she walked in my door, she dropped her pants. She just whoop, just dropped her pants, and on the inside of her thigh, both of them, there were these giant bruises on the insides of her thighs, and I'm like, what the hell happened to you? And it was one of the spirits in her house, and so I got her fixed up. I hooked her up with somebody that was able to get that out of there, and then I performed a reading on her situation, on to where she needs to go, and what she can do now that stuff was, the caca was gone, and I got her set up with her ancestors, and I did all this stuff for her, and then like last week she'd turn around and I don't know, she was angry at me because I didn't get in some drama, because I didn't want to get in the drama. It didn't involve me, but apparently she thought that I should have stood up for my friend or whatever. I'm like, it's not my circus, not my monkeys, I ain't getting into shit. So she got all mad at me, and I'm like, dude, after everything I've done for you. She's like, what the fuck did you do for me? Oh, you did a ritual and some ceremony, and big deal. Like, you know, people like that. You know what I did? 8 years of a friend, I blocked her immediately. She's been calling me. She's been calling me every other day. You know what she did? She sent me. I was dying. To my email, she sent me like a YouTube mixtape. I can't, man. She sent me these links to these YouTube like songs, and they were like sad songs about losing your friendship and stuff. Like, she made me a mixtape. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember doing mixtapes when you were a kid for like your crush. She sent me a mixtape. So yeah, I know she realizes she fucked up, but I'm gonna let her wallow in her fuck up a little bit longer, till she she ain't gonna ever act like that again. I'll probably give her another chance one day, because yeah, we were friends for 8 years. But people that take advantage of you and only want, you know, your works, your readings, your advice. I got a friend that calls me only when she's drunk. The only time I hear from her is when she's drunk, which is only like once every 3 or 4 months. She'll call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk off her ass, and she'll want to talk about shit. And then the next day she doesn't remember anything we talked about because she's fucking drunk. Cut these people off. They're leeches. They don't appreciate, you know, anything. So why give it? Why? They're vampires, they're leeches. Why work your spirits like that and work yourself like that and expend your energy like that if it's not appreciated and it's not reciprocated and they're not paying? You know, even like I have, like the friend I was just talking about, where I was doing divination over here and they all of a sudden wanted to talk about her. She sends me gifts for the spirits, because that happens quite often. Or you know, I'll give her, practice my divination with her and stuff. She always sends me gifts for my spirit. She'll send me cigars and, you know, stuff to offer my spirits for doing, you know, the readings and the work. So these are the kind of people that you need to be friends with. Anybody else is toxic, cut them out. Okay, do you ever allow your spirits to possess you for ritual? I don't allow shit to possess. I don't allow. I don't allow. In fact, that was #1 house rule when I brought things home. Like, #1 house rule is nobody is allowed to jump on me. Period. #1, set in stone. I put my foot down. That's the rule. Do they listen? Oh, in the beginning, they didn't listen at all. They didn't listen at all. I don't think they respected me. You know, we didn't have that relationship, you know, built up in the very beginning. In the very beginning, they didn't listen at all. Now they mostly listen. Once in a while, something will jump on me, but it's usually to get my attention about something. Like tonight, I gotta do a lot of work tonight apparently. I had a dream where I battled my mom, who was abusive, but was battling the younger her, not who she is now. It created a lot of forgiveness for her now. Yeah, I have mommy issues too with my mother. She was an alcoholic, and she wasn't a very good person when I was younger, and she hasn't changed very much. Things were good for like 10 or 15 years. You know, she went to rehab, and she was, you know, a recovering alcoholic for 10 or 15 years, and we started building our relationship at that point, you know, back, or not back because we never really had one, but we started building an okay relationship at that point. But then she started drinking again. So she's kind of back to being the way she used to be. So forgiveness is all we can do, and the forgiveness isn't even so much for them, it's more for ourselves, because if we hang on to those things, it doesn't serve us. It doesn't do us any good. It only hinders us and creates baggage and obstacles, and we don't need that. So drop it. Drop the bag. Drop the bricks. And forgive. And forgiveness does not mean forget. But yeah, always try your best to forgive, especially family. Quitting hurt. Yeah, we don't need friends like that. That's why I don't have a lot of friends. Is the spirit a little different than the person? No. The way someone was when they were alive is pretty much gonna be the same way they are after they pass away. Like I said, the most we can do is try and elevate them and get them to vibrate on a higher frequency. But yeah, they're going to be the same as they were when they were alive. Sounds like your friend and mine are the same person. Yeah, right? You, like I always say, no good deed goes unpunished. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. No good deed goes unpunished. That is very true. I am an awesome friend. Well, thank you, Latoya. That's so 80. Yeah, the mixtapes. Yeah, I was that. Oh my god, I was like literally bawling, laughing my ass off. I was like, she made me a fucking mixtape, and I told my husband, and he was like rolling. I was like, oh no. I emailed her back, and I was like, girl, I can't believe you just made me a mixtape. But I haven't talked to her. I'm gonna let her dangle on the line for a little bit longer so she doesn't fuck up again. You are gonna make her suffer first. Yeah, I mean, I don't want her to suffer, but I want her to realize her mistake, and that I'm not the kind of person that you can treat like that, or I'll be gone. I don't need people like that in my life. Off the radio top 100, yep. I gave up drinking. I'm a cheap cheerleader when I'm drunk. I no longer drink, and my spiritual life is excelled. Yeah, I don't drink either. I don't drink or do drugs, which makes it hard for me because a lot of my spirits do drink. A lot of my spirits, in fact, pretty much all my spirits, drink, except the saints, you know, stuff. They don't really imbibe, but everyone else does, including my ancestors. And you know, you gotta spray, you know, the liquor, and you know, I do a lot of spitting because I don't enjoy the taste, and I don't drink, and yeah, I do a lot. You know, I spit, I'll spray it, I'll spit it all out. Yeah, I don't enjoy it much. In fact, my mother is actually kind of the reason why I don't drink, because I don't ever want, you know, I don't want to end up like her. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that kind of person. And plus, my family, I come from a long fucking line of alcoholics. Almost everyone in my family has had an alcohol issue at least one point in their life. So I'm trying to break that cycle. I don't want to fall into that, and I don't want to become that, and I don't want to be like that. So I'm not going to do it. I do not allow any spirits to possess me. It's like giving your teenager the car keys to your new car. Yeah, like I said, I don't allow. I don't allow either, but it doesn't stop them. Just like you can say to your teenager, you're not allowed to drive the car, but that's not going to stop them from swiping the keys when you go to sleep and taking the car for a spin. Yeah, you can not allow a lot of things, whether they listen. That's something totally different. And it's really fucked up when it's not my spirits that jump on me. When it's caca spirits. My daughter is about to bring her new boyfriend in while I have this blasting through the TV. He's Pentecostal, so I wonder if he's going to hightail it. Oh, maybe he'll learn something. Everybody start chanting. Let's sing. Let's sing. That's why I didn't want to do magic in my house. Did I miss something? Bella Marley from 89.7 FM. Are you a like a radio DJ? Bella Marley? 89.7 FM? That's cool. Yep, their power over you. Go. Pain is power. Yeah. I mean, I've gone through digging up the shit, and I'm sure there's more shit that's gonna be dug up, you know, at points in time. But it's weird the way it happened with me, like, and at the time I was thinking, like, my hormone, like, it was my hormones or something, but I was, like, crying over it, like, I'd cry, I was crying and crying all the time, bawling, crying, bawling, and I did this for, like, a week, like, 15 times a day. I'd just start crying, like, a fucking commercial would make me cry, and I had a pain, like, a deep-ass pain in my chest. It literally felt like my heart was shattering and breaking in my chest, and I could not figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why? What? Like, I thought I was going into a depression or something. I've never been depressed in my life. I couldn't understand what was going on. And it was the court. My court wanted me to address some issues from my past. And so that's what we did. I went to my court and I let it all fly. I let it all out. I let it all fly. I cried my heart out, and we got through it, and it stopped happening once I got rid of it. But it'll probably happen again. It'll probably happen again. And what's fucked up about it is I'm not a highly emotional kind of person. I don't cry like much at all ever. Unless it's like my time of the month, maybe I'll cry at a movie or you know, something like that. But usually stuff that would make other people cry doesn't affect me. I'm not a highly emotional person. But I think this is a bit of a wall that I have put up because I think that I might actually be a highly emotional person, and I try and put a wall up and not portray that, not be like that, and kind of protect, you know, the feelings and stuff. And that actually came out. Someone in my house, spirits were talking to them, so you know, she kind of brought that to my attention, and I learned, you know, you learn these paths, these spiritual paths, are nothing about but about you learning you. It's about you learning yourself and dropping baggage, dropping ego, learning who you really are, how you really are. And I thought I knew myself. I thought, you know, I know how I am, this is how I am, this is what I do, and this is how I act, but all that might be a facade. It might be a mask, you know, to hide the real feelings and stuff. And one of my sisters in my house brought this to my attention because the spirits were talking to her about me. So I'm sure I have a lot more to learn about myself and bettering myself and all this and that, but I'm trying, and it's all about growth. It's all about growth. It's not about who's more powerful, who has a bigger ego, who can make more money, who, any of this stuff, who can, you know, curse the hardest hex, who has the most powerful spirits, who has more. This is not what it's about. And people that get into these traditions with this in their head find out quickly that that's not what it's about. It's about you, your court, your ancestors, your spirits, and becoming a better person. That's what it's about. I grew up Pentecostal, like people talking in tongues, dancing, oh Lord, dancing across the pews and falling out on the floor. I'd love to know your take on the Holy Spirit and all that stuff. I didn't bab. To me, that's madness, but that's me, and I'm not in it, and that's not my path. And I mean, to people that are in it, it's probably real, and it's, you know, probably their spirits that they're communicating. I don't know. But to me, it's insanity. Like the evangelists with the jackets, and they smack people with the jackets, and it's just, to me, that's all bullshit, and it's all crazy. I don't understand any of that stuff. I really don't. I'm a recovering addict. Have been in recovery for years. It's great, but I feel bad for my old friends sometimes. And I tried to keep one, and they took advantage, and were very ungrateful. Yeah, when you go through a change like that, even a spiritual change, I mean, so you're gonna have to drop some of your people you thought were your friends. It's gonna happen, or they're gonna drop off because they're not gonna. And that's just kind of the same thing as like overcoming an addiction. You're a different person now than the person that they knew. And that's just along the same lines with the spiritual growth. You become a different person than the person that those people knew. And if you look at it along the lines of you were friends with those people when you were on a lower level. So they're on a lower level, and you used to be on that level. But if you overcome an addiction, or if you grow on a spiritual path, you elevate to a higher level and a different frequency. And this is what I talked about in the last video about people vibrating on the same frequency and like soul tribes. Those people aren't on your frequency anymore. They're on your old frequency. And you're going to either have to drop them, or they're going to drop off eventually. They're not, you're going to lose a lot of friends, but hopefully you gain new ones that are on your now new level, or your new addiction-free life. What do you think about automatic writing? I'm thinking it's like they possess you and take you to... I've actually... My godmother was talking to me about automatic writing a month or so ago and asked me if I ever tried it, and I haven't really experienced that. I haven't attempted it. She suggested that it might be something I might want to try. I haven't done it yet. As far as a possession, it's probably not so much as a possession, but more like you become a conduit, like a medium, and they can communicate through you, but not necessarily, possess you and ride you like that. That's automatic writing would be another form of like divination, and that's a way the spirits communicate through you and use you as a medium for the communication, but you're not necessarily possessed, when you're doing stuff like that. I am a witch, but I have been a pagan minister through Universal Life Church. My husband's in the Universal Life Church. He's a reverend through the Universal Life Church. That's awesome. Lately, I am trying to decide to leave the ministry. I feel many are ego-driven hypocrites, and I do not want to be like them. My husband passed the minister or the reverend test in that church, and he has a certificate hung up on the wall, but he never did anything with it. Like technically, I guess he's allowed to marry people and bury people and like do all that kind of stuff, but he never really did anything, with the title of reverend and through the church and all that. It's kind of like a badge, he just kind of sticks it on his shoulder and he's like, yeah, I got this and I can do that if I want to, but I don't. That's just the kind of person he is. He actually said in the future, maybe when we move and get our farm going and stuff, he actually might start marrying and burying people, Lately, I feel this way about major religions and ministers. I am getting disillusioned. Yeah. They're all pretty much corrupt. Even like with the Espiritismo and the stuff that I do, we use the iconography of Catholicism, and we use Psalms, and we use the prayers, and we work with the saints, but we're not part of the church. So we don't really have the dogma and the doctrine of the church, but we work with the spirits, if that makes any sense. Do you believe in spiritual death and rebirth? I often dream of dying, feeling the injury, blood, and brain. Sometimes I kill people and hide bodies in dreams. Or could it be something else? That's awesome. Kill people. I want to kill some people and hide their bodies in my dreams. I've actually experienced this. Dying in your dreamscape. Yeah, I've experienced that. And you really do feel the pain and the blood. I had one where I got shot in my back. And I woke up and I literally thought I was shot for real. Like, I felt the fucking pain, and I felt a pool of blood under my back. I've actually experienced that. In fact, for a long time, I thought that I had a premonition, and that was the way I was going to die someday. I think what that is, I don't know if you guys know anything, let's call it different dimensions and time frequencies. So there's a theory that, like, let's say you come to a crossroad, okay? There's a fork in the road, and you gotta go left or you gotta go right. Let's say you choose to go left. Well, on another timeline, you chose to go right. And that timeline exists. And in that timeline, you went right, and you might have had a fucking car accident on that timeline. But on this one, The one in this reality, you went left and that didn't happen. I think sometimes when we're, you know, in the spirit plane and dream walking and stuff, we can kind of see those other timelines or bump into them, and see what could have been or what has been. So like, yeah, something like that. It could be something like, you know, a different timeline reality. It could be possibly a past life. Maybe in a past life I was shot in the back and that's how I died. You know, nobody really knows the answers to these things, but there's a couple different possibilities. Like along the timelines thing, like let's say you're driving down the road and you almost have a car accident, like a near-miss car accident. Well, on another timeline, you might have actually had that car accident, but in this one, you kept driving. But on another one, you're all mangled and in a wheelchair. These are different theories, quantum time and spirit plane and you know, stuff like that. So nobody really knows what these things are or mean, but there's definite good theories on them. Denise, you're not alone. I left my faith due to scandals. Yeah. There's a, someone once said that there's nothing holy in the church. There's nothing holy in Rome. There's nothing holy in Jerusalem. That they are the opposites. They're like the evilest things. I have been a Wiccan witch currently, but now see all of these trendy fad witches that I just want to look elsewhere, but I still believe in witchcraft. Yeah, it is a big trend fad, and I've done numerous fucking videos on it. My husband even said something about it the other day. What's gonna happen, and I've seen this, it's kind of an awakening for a lot of people, and the people that are not supposed to be awakened are just jumping on the bandwagon. And what's going to happen is they're not real. They're not real witches. They're not real. They can't really hear spirits. They can't really work with them. So what it is a fad. And when these ones that don't have it do their work and their spells or whatever they're trying to do, and it doesn't work, they're gonna quit. You're only gonna do something that doesn't work for so long, and then you're just gonna give up on it and move on to the next thing. And I highly believe that's what's gonna happen with this new witchcraft generation fad. At least that's sincerely what I hope is gonna happen. But yeah, if they're not the real deal, they'll give it up because it's not going to work for them. So just hang on. Just hang on, grit your teeth, and just scroll by all the bullshit fuckery. Yes, I can marry and bury, and I'm doing hospital visits as a pagan. That's awesome. I had actually talked to my husband something about that. About working in a hospital, because his mom's been in there now for quite a while, and we met with I don't know if I guess he'd be a reverend or a pastor or something, but his name tag literally said like Universal Church on his little hospital name tag, and I was like, oh, see, now that would be a good thing for my husband, because with the the Universal, you can kind of help everybody, whatever their belief is. Because it's universal, it covers everything. So yeah, I thought that would be a really good thing for my husband to do, would be, do it to hospitals and stuff. Okay, a conduit, I'm fine with it. Automatic writing is something I'm open to try. Hello, Carlos! Nice to see you too. Do you give yourself Holy Communion? No. That's a church practice, number one. We don't do communions. We don't drink the blood. We don't eat the body. Number two, I actually have celiac disease. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't eat the damn communion. Can't have it. And actually, I'm in a lot of, celiac groups and stuff on Facebook, and I see a lot of people in there having issues because they're Catholic, and they can't eat the cookies. They can't eat the crackers because they have celiac disease. And I think somebody was actually coming up with a gluten-free communion wafer. I don't know if that's out yet, a thing, but I'm sure a lot of churches ain't going to carry them. So what some of them I think we're going to do is like get them and carry them in the purse when they go to mass or whatever, and then just give that to the to the preacher and have him bless it so they can actually take the communion. But yeah, we don't do that in my tradition. What is your name, or the name you go by? You're fairly new here. I have many names. But most call me Mama. I go by Mama Justify, because that is my task. Justice and balance is what I do, and healing and all that. But Mama Healing or Healer ain't a good name, so I go by Mama Justify. But I have a lot of names and a lot of titles, and and that's a lot of ego just saying all that kind of shit. Do I believe in reincarnation? I had a hard time believing in it because of my past Christian upbringing. Absolutely, I believe in reincarnation, and I think I covered this on my last live. As non-stop talking, I'm getting my throat's getting dry. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I talked about this on my last live. I absolutely believe in reincarnation, and that's one of the reasons why I believe the ancestors and heritage and DNA and blood is so important, is because I believe personally that when ancestors reincarnate, they do it through their bloodline, through the people that they share DNA with. Yeah, I absolutely believe in that. Yes, it feels real. I started to think I was a serial killer. I've done that too, Tukawaka. Not only have I been killed in dreams, but I have killed other people in my dream. I actually killed myself in a dream once, but it wasn't like I killed myself. It was like there was another me, and like I killed that other me. Like it was me. I don't know how to explain it. It looked like me when I was younger, but I think it was like a part of me when I, actually tried to analyze the dream. When I first started the spiritual journey, I had a dream that I killed myself, but it wasn't like killing myself. It was like another me, like an old me. Like I killed the old me, and to me that meant it was like kind of a rebirth thing. Like the old me died away, and here's the new me. On a new frequency and on my spiritual journey. I've had several past life dreams. I was thrown off a boat in one, and had another that was so crazy real about Nazi Germany. I became lucid when I realized everyone was speaking German. Weird. Yeah, I haven't experienced that myself. Past life dreams. I have had premonition dreams. Dreams that actually come true exactly the fucking way I've seen them come true. But they're usually about dumb shit. Like, like really dumb shit. Like, I had a dream once where I lived in this farmhouse out in the country. And I dreamed that I was walking down my driveway. It was like this really long driveway. And I went to the mailbox, and I opened the mailbox, and there was a speeding ticket in the mailbox, like from one of them red light cameras, and it had pictures of my car and stuff on the ticket. And then I woke up, and I told my husband about it when I woke up. I was like, man, I dreamed I had a fucking red light speeding ticket or something. And don't you know, 3 goddamn days later, I walked to the fucking mailbox, and there was a fucking red light speeding ticket in there with my pictures of my car on it. And I was like, motherfucker. Like, I have premonition dreams, but they're like about dumb things, like nothing, not something really important. Not winning the lottery, or a disaster's gonna happen, or something where it would help somebody. No, I have some stupid dreams. Premonition dreams that come true. It's really crazy. What am I drinking? Sam's cold. I need to drink more water. I really do, but I don't drink coffee. So I kind of get my caffeine from the soda, and I made myself a deal that I didn't keep, where like when I woke up in the morning, like I gotta have a Coke because I don't drink coffee, so I gotta get some caffeine in me. And I made a deal with myself that I was only gonna drink like 2 or 3 Cokes a day. I was only gonna drink one when I woke up, and one with like lunch or dinner, or whatever. And then I was gonna drink water the rest of the time. That hasn't quite happened. I do. I try to stop drinking the soda a couple hours before I'm ready for bed, and then I just drink water in the evenings. But yeah, it's Coke. It's not good for you. I think the problem with us newbies is not researching enough and or getting initiated in a proper path. I like people who are trying to make some Harry Potter-ish things, not respecting or knowing. Absolutely, Carlos, you are absolutely correct. That is a big problem, and it's the entitlement. What am I smoking in the tube? Oh, this is New Zealand peach, which is my main. This, like, I've been smoking it for years, and that's why I smoke. Sometimes I put in a couple drops of spearmint or a couple drops of mango, or just to change it up a little bit, but I'm always smoking New Zealand peach. It's the only one that I found that I really like. Yeah, vaping. I quit. I quit smoking for like 4 years. And I just, I did the vape, and the vape really helped me quit smoking. So I am promoting vaping over smoking, definitely. It's much healthier, much better for you. But then when my father-in-law got really sick 2 years ago, it was just super stressful and super craziness going on, and I started smoking cigarettes again. And also, it doesn't help that a lot of my spirits smoke cigarettes too. It's not just cigars. A lot of them want cigarettes. So I was talking to my godmother today that I need to slow down on the smoking, because when I first started again, I was like smoking like a pack would last me a week, because it was basically I was giving it to my spirits. Or I'd take a puff or two, and then I'd give it to the spirits because they wanted cigarettes. But then it started, I'm going to have one after dinner. Then it's, I need to have one as soon as I wake up. And now I'm doing like a pack. I go through a pack like every 2 to 3 days now instead of like one a week. And that's between me and my spirits. But I was actually talking to my godmother today, and I was like, I need to cut back on the cigarettes, but it's so hard when your spirits want fucking cigarettes. It's really hard. But I'm gonna try. We'll get it down to where I just smoke one in the morning when I wake up and one after meals. That's where I'd like to get it. When you have been taught a recipe, how often do you change the recipe based on what you have on hand? If it was a recipe that was specifically given to me by certain spirits, I never change it. Especially if it's like a spirit oil, like my ancestor oil and stuff. That stuff doesn't change. The Conga oil, the ones that spirit specifically dictated and give to me, never change. Actually, I don't change my oil formularies. I really don't. I will mix things up depending on what I have on hand when it comes to doing actual work or making lamps or a bath or a floor wash or something, I might change it up a hair, depending, on what I have on hand. But I usually don't try to change my recipes up at all, because if something works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. if I have a recipe and I don't have an ingredient for it, I will try and get it. Oh, have you ever made your own oils for personal use? Of course. Technobard the Wanderer. Hello. Yeah, of course I make my own oils. I have a website. The link is below this video. Primitive Root. See, my throat and my mouth's getting dry from talking. PrimitiveRootsConjure.com. I sell oils, powders, floor washes, gree, curios, all that stuff, and I make it all myself. Have you worked in a place that is a vortex? I live in a vortex. Many graves here. It's an old reservation. I am tentative to turn up the volume here, but sometimes I think let's rock and roll. That's awesome. Let me think. If I've been to vortexes, it was when I was younger. There's quite a few in the mountains in Pennsylvania where I grew up. I don't think I've ever particularly done work or tried to call up any spirits or anything at a powerful vortex. I don't ever recall ever doing that. I did, however, grow up right beside a cemetery. Like, it bordered my backyard. Like, here's my yard, there's like this little patch of trees, and then there's like the cemetery. It was like right there. So the house I grew up in, again, I've always been very attractive to spirits. I actually found something out. Can I say this? Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, I can say it. I actually found out recently the reason why spirits are so attracted to me. And that is because I actually am a crossroad. Yeah, it threw me for a loop too. I am actually a crossroad, which is, if y'all know anything about crossroads, that is why, well, one of the reasons why spirits are so attracted to me and follow me and all this and that, because I am actually a crossroad, which is pretty cool, on one hand, but on another hand, it's not so cool. I'm getting something in my ear. Who's this? So I don't actually have to go to a crossroad to do work. I am a crossroad, so that's cool. But there's aspects of it that aren't so cool. Like being super attracted to spirits and then following you home and dealing with that, and because it's not always the good ones. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. That what is going on in my ear that I found out the other day. Hi, Momo Justify. I'm shopping on your website. Oh, awesome. Which is awesome, by the way. Thank you. I built it myself. I've been having problems for years. All of my roads are closed because of past enemies. At a former job that okay. Hi, Tranquil Waters. I think your sentence cut off there. Do you ever use clove cigarettes or tea leaf cigarette? No, I actually can't stand cloves. I went through my goth phase just like everybody else in my younger years, and I am talking. I always felt not goth enough because I hated clove cigarettes. I couldn't stand them. So what did I get? I found a brand of cigarettes that were black, though. I don't remember what they were called now. But yeah, instead of the cloves, I smoked those because they were black. I don't like clove. Um, tea cigarettes, no. My cigarettes want fucking tobacco. My cigarettes. My spirits. My spirits want tobacco. They love tobacco. A lot of spirits love tobacco. Most are happy with cigars. But some actually want cigarettes, or some even want pipe type tobacco. But I've never had tea cigarettes or anything like that. Have you ever mixed other liquids into your carrier oils, like small amounts of rum or tequila? No, I don't add any alcohol into my oils. When you start adding alcohol, you get into tinctures and not so much oils. And tinctures are, fine, they're a good thing, but they're not necessarily oils when you start adding alcohol and preservatives and other stuff. You're getting into tinctures and cologne waters and stuff like that when you start adding alcohols. Could I recommend one of my aunts to shop in your site? She would definitely use a little bit of your reversing oil or your Van Van. Well, yeah, recommend anybody to shop on my site. Recommend away. No, nobody's allowed to shop on my site, and you can't recommend. Recommend away, y'all. Shit. Do you ever have a particular carrier oil that you stick with? No. Every oil I do usually has a different carrier. It depends on the oil and what it's for. I use all kinds of different carrier oils. I try to steer clear. I'm still hearing something in my ear. Somebody's trying to get my attention over here, and I don't know what's going on. Because it's on this side. Yeah, I use different carrier oils, but I try to steer clear of olive oil. I will use it for certain things. I especially like it for natural oil lamps, not oil lamps, like where you put the lamp oil and stuff. But when you make a natural oil lamp out of, let's say, a coconut or an orange or a gourd or whatever, when you're making it out of a natural, pineapple's a good one, you're making it out of a natural substance like that. You get these little floater wick things. Let me see. I might be able to show you guys. Here. You get these things. I think they're actually called, milagrosas. It's all dirty, but it has a picture of like Mary on it, and it comes in little boxes like this, and you get these little wicks, and it comes in one of these things, okay, and you stick the wick in it like that, and then this will float in your lamp and make a natural lamp. When I make lamps like that, I like to use olive oil. But when it comes to oils, I don't like to use it because it doesn't have a long shelf life. It goes rancid pretty quickly comparatively to other oils, but I usually use different kinds of carrier oils depending on what I'm making. That's awesome and kind of mind-blowing. Okay. My sister is a very hateful, vengeful narcissist who is slandering me with everything she's got, even though I never did anything to her. I tried to work things out, but she refuses to connect. She is successfully turning even my own family and stepkids against me. I am lost what to do. Shut the fuck up. That's what you do. You tap a boca her fucking ass. I think I already covered this on a live. Shut the Fuck Up Jar is an excellent one. I sell Tapaboca oil on my site for Shut Up Works. You can do the old staple cow tongue. You can just work it with a candle, but the jar is my favorite because what do jars do? Jars are containers. Jars contain things. They trap things and they seal them in there. This is why a lot of works that shouldn't be in jars. I don't understand why the fuck people are doing these jars. But a shut up work is one that's good for a jar. And what's great about it is you can keep throwing people in there. It's not a once and done, work. You have a shut the fuck up jar and you put somebody in it, you burn a candle on top of it, you put your, shut up herbs and oils and all that stuff in there. And maybe down the line you got somebody else talking shit. Open that jar up and throw their fucking ass in there and burn a new candle on top of it. Shut the fuck up jars are one of my favorites for gossip and slander. Anyway, the former supervisor damaged my niece so badly that... Why are you not completing your sentences? Tranquil Waters. Cracking me up. Goth phase, like punk rock phase. Yeah, I went through a little bit of the punk rock phase too. How do you, as a living human, become a crossroad? I didn't become a crossroad. It's just what I am. Which explains you get things, you get little, through divinations and spirits and experiences and stuff, you get little puzzle pieces here and there of things, or you have events happen. Like I'm extremely attracted to spirits. They follow me home. I never knew why, and then bam, a puzzle piece will fall into place. I'm a fucking crossroad. That's why. It explains so many things when I found that out. But I didn't become it. It's partially along the lines of the spirits I have, whom in the spirit my father and mother are, through my lineage and stuff, has a lot to do with it. But yeah, I didn't become it. I was born this way. I was supposed to have knee replacement surgery, but in February I ended up with a clot in one of my lungs. So now girl, you're killing me. It's like anticipation. You're killing me, girl. I cannot have the surgery. All I'm trying to do is return to work. I'm 54. I need to go back to work. Will a Gree bag and Mojo bag be good for me? Thanks so much. Let me think. Well, they should have given you some medicine, right, to dissolve your blood clots, right? Because they did that with my mother-in-law just recently. She had a PICC line in her arm and she developed a blood clot, and they give you a medicine to break up the clots in your blood and stuff. So if you no longer have a blood clot, I'm not understanding why you couldn't have the surgery. Would a Gree Mojo be good? Something like that needs surgery. I mean, it's not, this isn't the magic jacket of what's his face where, you throw it on and you're healed. It's not that kind of like holy whatever bullshit. It could, a success, Gree could help the situation as far as finding maybe another job that would be better suited, like maybe a desk job. If you're having knee issues, you probably want to have a desk job or something, or maybe a driver job. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But you probably want to have a job where you're not doing a lot of standing and walking, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're looking for that type of, a new job that would be better suited for you because of health issues, a success Gree could help with that situation. But if you need surgery, there's no magic, there's no work that's really gonna fix that. You'd have to have the surgery. Like, you can't heal it. Like, a healing Gree, it might help a little bit, but you're still gonna need the surgery. So, yeah. I use olive oil lamps for scrying. Add vitamin E to olive oil for preservation. Dry herbs for, yeah. Too much moisture makes it go rancid. Yeah, the vitamin E, I mean, it helps a little bit to stabilize it, but again, it's only for, all Conjure oils are, volatile. All of them have a shelf life and go rancid after a while, but just, I've just found that olive oil, it makes it go rancid a lot quicker. It doesn't have as long shelf life. Even with the vitamin E, it makes it last a little bit longer, but there's other oils, that could work just as good, that are more stable. So, yeah, I like using the olive oil in lamps and stuff like that, but I don't really like using it in Conjure oils. I'm so sorry, I pressed the enter button by mistake. Oh, is that why you were cutting off? Were you a crossroad in your past lives as well? I actually don't know. That's a good question. I don't think I know very much about my past lives. I really don't. What I do think is, some people believe, and this is why, like, some people do astrology and star charts and planetary charts and stuff like that for people. In that type of system, we have cycles. And there's usually like 7 or 9 cycles where you reincarnate. But you can only, reincarnate so many times. So I personally believe if I'm not on my last cycle, I'm like on my next to last cycle, because of the messages I've received from my ancestors about taking a seat with them, and my tasks in this life and what I have to do to take the seat with them. I haven't particularly had my charts done. I was gonna have it done, but the person that I really wanted to do it, like, disappeared off social media, vanished. Nobody can find him. And he was the one I really wanted to have my chart done, because I had another friend that he did her chart, and it was really good. But yeah, I personally believe that I am either on my last cycle of reincarnation or like my next to last cycle. I might have one more. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I don't know much about my personal past lives. Unfortunately, maybe I will in the future, but right now I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a person who is a crossroads or a gateway or a medium or a psychocomp are born that way, right? I know I didn't choose my stuff. I just have it and work with it. Yeah, definitely, like I said, born this way. I don't know how one would become it, because I was born with it. Yeah, definitely born this way. That's why, I've said in previous videos that witches are born witches. I don't think you can just wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a witch today. Let me go on Google and learn some fucking spells. Let me join some Facebook groups. I want to be a witch now. I don't think it works that way. I think everybody, well, I know for a fact that everybody has spirits. Everybody has ancestors. That's a fact. But I don't think everybody can work with them the way workers can. I don't think they have that access, that skill, that energy, that frequency. Not everyone's a witch. And the ones that are, I believe, are born this way. And I use witch, it's as a loose term. Yes, the clot is gone. Yes, I'm taking blood thinner. May cause complications with clotting. Oh no, I wanted to know if I can get a road opener so I can keep a job so that I won't have problems with coworkers. A road opener to keep a job? You already have the job. What do you got to open the road for? I'd still say a success one. If you want to keep the job, you want a success one to be successful at the job to keep the job, right? We don't need a road open the road if you already have it. Success, yeah, again, success. Gree. Definitely, we don't need a road opener for that. If you're having problems with coworkers, though, the success greeter can help with that. I just was consulting a client earlier, and she was kind of having the same issues at work. Someone was kind of fucking with her shit, and hot foot, man. If you're having problems with your coworkers, hot foot them or banish them. Banishing doesn't really work too much in a work setting because they work there. They got to be there. So how are you going to banish them? But hot foot will make them run the fuck away. Run the fuck away. Leave you alone. I would not be surprised if they quit or transferred if you're having problems with coworkers. Holy cow, I made it to another live. Hi, Kayla. Tobacco is Native American and a shaman thing. Now, we covered this on the last live, and people were schooling me that shaman is not really Native American, which was, I mean, I learned something too, man. Y'all were schooling me on the last live. They're saying it comes from Russia, and someone had a theory on it of why it became Native American because of the, what's the name of the strait? The strait that used to connect the Russia with the Alaska. It was called something. It was something strait. But there was a theory that the people from Russia migrated from Russia, into the Northern American continent through that strait and brought the shamanism with them. So then when they mingled with the Native Americans, it became associated with them. But yeah, everybody was schooling me that shamanism is a Russian thing and not a Native American thing. I never knew that. I do not understand why I can't seem to know about my past life or life. Denise, I think it's for a reason. If you look at the people who have knowledge of their past lives, it usually fucks with them. It fucks with them a lot in this life. And I believe that there's a reason why we don't particularly remember our past lives, because we can't be hindered by it in this life. If we remembered our past lives, that could bring up all sorts of trauma and issues, and especially for certain, cultures and people and stuff. Your ancestors are your remembrance of your last life. That's as much as I think anybody should have, because I think if you remember your past lives, it seriously will fuck with this life, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. That's why when we're reincarnated, we don't bring that, we don't bring that with us. We don't bring that knowledge with us of it, because it would hinder us and fuck us up on this path and this time on. You understand? So I think there's actually a reason for that. Hello again, Princess KLS. Can you tell me how many past lives you have left? I think I already just covered that. I think I'm on my last cycle, or I might be on my next to last cycle. I think I only got one more if I have any at all. So that's probably 7 or 9 cycles that I personally have been through. What's my opinion on death spells? I think they're horrible. to wish death on someone, I think you have to have been around death, and you have to know death and been near it to understand it. That to wish death on someone is just, I don't know, man. When I had my bout with death, I wouldn't have wished that shit on anybody. Any fucking buddy. Now, I'm sure there are others who have been in extremely traumatic situations. I'm on 15% power, guys. You know, who have been abused horribly. And, you know, stuff. Maybe in that type of situation, it's justified. Or, you know, if someone's like a serial killer and they've taken a lot of lives and caused a lot of death, then it's probably justified. So justice and balance is a different situation. Me personally, it'd have to be extreme for me to wish death on somebody, because that is some serious final fucking shit. Okay, there was a movie with Clint Eastwood. I don't remember the name of the movie. But he says in it, he goes, it's a hell of a thing killing a man. To take away all that he has and all that he ever will have. I mean, I've had a lot of experience with death. I've had my bouts with death. I'm friends with death, and I know death. So, I don't think I would really wish death on anyone. Even the one who threw death at me, that almost killed me, I didn't personally wish death on her in return, but I did reverse that shit, and a lot of death happened around her, and that wasn't my intent, but spirits do what they want to do. You know, I put most of my shit in the hands of spirit. I do the work, and I say, you know, do the justice, do the balance, and they take care how they see fit, not how I see fit. When a spirit gives you the green light to do readings, what kinds will you be doing? Or will that be determined by spirit at that time? Depends on the type of reading. I'm actually going to be offering 2 different types of readings when I can do readings, and I'm not going to mention them right now because that would give away my path. So yeah, that's probably another reason why they're not letting me do readings, because I need to stay in the closet a little longer on the path. So, and if I gave away the types of readings that I will be doing, that would give away the path. So, we're not doing that. But I will say I will be offering 2 different types of reading. There will be like a general kind of, you know, reading, like problems, issues, situations, general reading. That kind of thing will be on one system, and then I have another system that's just for one thing. But I'm not going to tell anybody what it is yet. Because if you're allowed to do ancestral readings, I'll just wait for you. I can actually recommend a very good ancestral reader. PM me on the page, Primitive Roots Conjure, Appalachian Conjure, Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure on Facebook, links below the video. PM me, and I can send you to someone who's very good at ancestral investigations. He's done my ancestral investigations, he's done ones for my friends, and they're good. So, if you're interested in that, PM me and I will send you over there. No, I'm not employed right now. Okay, I'll order success, Gregory. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Tranquil Waters. How do you hotfoot someone? I do not practice your path, but that sounds interesting. Hotfoot is an old, we call it a trick, called land tricks. There's many ways to do it, but basically it's a powder, and you want to put it where your target's going to walk on it, touch it, or something along that lines, where it's going to come in contact with them. I was consulting a client earlier today, and she actually had a good idea, which actually I think I put it out in the past. She might have seen my video where I said it. She was going to send it to her target in a card. So when they open the card, they'll get the powder on their hands. But you know, you can do it on their mailbox, on their car, somewhere where they're going to walk, like on their porch, if in front of their car door where they're going to step on it. It's something that your target should come in contact with physically. And what it does is, it's literally called hot foot. It makes their feet hot. It makes them agitated, aggravated being in that area, and they will run. Hot foot, run. Yeah. Bearing straight, that's what it was. Thank you, princess. Yep, shaman is Siberian. Specifically, some variants of the practice that birthed the term are actually Mongolian. Awesome. My husband has some Mongolian in his ancestry. Non-magical people, could oils, puppets, jars, or curios work for them? I mean, if they trust on the ashe or the strength of the formulas. They can work for them, but I don't think it would work for them if they did it themselves. But if they had a worker, you know, if they went to a worker and a worker did a jar for them, or a work, or, you know, a poppet or something, well, yeah, it would work because the worker got that shit. But any Joe Blow non-magical person, if they did it themselves, probably not. I'm a supervisor and want to hotfoot some employees, but figure we can all learn something. Not everything is comfortable. Hotfoot your employees, huh? That's interesting. You want to get them to quit? I tried to remember my past lives before, and it gave me a bit of a trauma. Exactly. That's why we have that block. I thoroughly believe in that. I think there's a reason why we have that block, because we don't need that trauma in this life. This life has enough trauma without the past trauma, you know. Yes, I understand about the past life thing. Thank you. All right. I'm referring to South American indigenous peoples, like, I believe, originated in Mongolia. Yeah, I think someone else just covered the Mongolian, where the shamans come from. Yeah. I mean, how do you know if you have any left? Princess. Oh, if you have any left? There's people, like I was saying, that do charts. They do planetary and astrology charts that can chart how many lives you lived and how many you should have left. Having low battery here, so I'm going to try and get these questions quick. The one I wanted to go to, he went by the name Paul Strickland, and he did really good charts, and I had a friend of mine who had charts done from him, but he vanished. He totally vanished off social media and internet, and nobody can find him. But yeah, there's other people that do charts like that, but he was really good at it. Unfortunately, I can't find him. Just stopping in to say hey. I hope everyone's enjoying your Saturday. Hi, Jordan. Did you watch the alligators barking? Oh my God, no, I didn't. Yeah, I gotta do that. I totally forgot about the alligators barking. Shit, my husband wanted to hear it too. He loves alligators. He's obsessed with them. Past ancestral lives can be pretty rough, but they come with good lessons for me. I try to learn from them because I don't want to fuck up the same way I did in this life. Right? Right. Thanks for the hot foot advice. Yep. Can you tell me how you know about reincarnation? I'm looking for actual proof myself. Well, there's plenty of proof out there. If you just Google and look, and there's plenty of documented people, you know, who talk about their past lives, and it's very provable things. Like, I remember there was a little boy that was like, he was a soldier, and he was in one of the wars, and his ship sank, got bombed and sank, and he died at sea or something, and like this little fucking kid who didn't know nothing knew the name of the ship, knew the guy's family, their names, you know, his mom and dad, and everybody who was in his past life, and he knew all that shit. I mean, there's tons of evidence on reincarnation and past lives if you dig into it, if you just look around. I have a weirdish question. Can you ask your husband if he knew a drummer named Les Riggs in London? I'll try to remember that. He was in bands in London. I think his band, if I remember correctly, the band he was in at that time was called the Fearless Vampire Killers. I think that was the one he had in London, I think. And I know he had a lot of musicians in the band that were from France. But that was before I knew him. I might have the name wrong, I'm not sure, but I will ask him. He probably might, know them. Does love work on a spouse also on a man that does have some feelings for? What? Does love work on a spouse also on a man that does have some feelings for? You want to do love work on both? Is that what you're saying? Guys, my battery's dying. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get to the questions. Who knew the name of the ship? That's amazing. Yeah. I find it hard managing me daily spiritual routine, running my online business, and my household duties. How do you do it? Spirits don't let me not do anything else, girly. Oh, Lord, and the cleaning is killing me. God damn, it's like clean, 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 clean. And I do divination, it's like clean some more. Motherfucker, just like clean. Like, seriously. How clean? So I'm like, between the cleaning, the baths, managing my business, learning my divinations, and guys, like, bleh. I got a full fucking plate and the spirits, and I'm trying to sew. Yeah, I'm trying to finish this collection, because you guys know I'm a clothing designer too. I'm trying to sew on the side and get some of that shit done, because I haven't put out a collection in a couple years. Like, I got so much on my plate. It's like, it's madness. I want them to quit working for the government. Is it hard? It is hard to fire people. Yeah. But they were hot foot 'em, man. Hot fucking foot 'em. That's all I can say. A lot of people don't quit government jobs once they get in there. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Battery, I got 5%. So, thank everyone for joining me. Your questions were awesome. I hope y'all learned something. I learned some things. We this back and forth here, give and take. This is good. I love the lives. Visit the website, Primitive Roots, Appalachian Conjure. No, that's the Facebook page. Facebook page, Primitive Roots, Appalachian Conjure. Anyone that had private questions, PM me on there, on the Facebook page, and I will get you where you gotta go. Visit the website for the oils and powders mentioned in this video, primitiverootsconjure.com. Follow me on Instagram at Primitive Roots. I think that's my Instagram. It's in the link. Once the video is posted, there's links in the description. And yeah, definitely do the oils in your body washes. That's one of my favorite tricks. It's great for maintenance in between the spiritual baths. Like I said, it doesn't take the place of a spiritual bath, but it's good for maintenance and getting a little bit of the caca off of you, or bringing in the stuff that you want to bring in. So, as always, thank you guys. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Smash that fucking subscribe button. Good night, guys.